is the reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something.
This equation has 4 factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to 0. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to 0. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to 0. That's back from high school algebra. But let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
We recognize different ages for different purposes. We recognize 18 for the draft. We recognize 16 for driving in some states. We recognize 21 for drinking. So we recognize different ages for different purposes. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Could I have a second to engage that?
Certainly. I'll yield to the gentleman from Kentucky.
Would the chairman join me in co-sponsoring a bill to raise the draft age to 21?
No.
But the chairman feels that their brains aren't fully formed at 18, 19, and 20.
The research does indicate that in certain respects, but the Selective Service needs, I mean, if the country needs people, it needs people.
It needs people.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa. Of Putin's kleptocracy, yeah. America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him. The idea that Los Angeles and what am I doing here? For 2 reasons. One, we haven't been able to communicate it in a way that is, let me say another way. But the nature, not a solid meeting with they make a very good point. Here's the deal. Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected. Here's what you can do, the drivers.
We want to expand pre-K for 3- and 4-year-olds, millions of pre-K students. Let's be clear. I hear it all the time. Cumulative deficit reduction, pay for the programs many times over.
And I'm just just sick of seeing him. I know he says he's going to retire. Someone needs to grab that little elf and chuck him across the Potomac.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Welcome back to another night of Stick with Koolfrogg. You know, really seriously figured I'd set up the show. I said something to AmericaShirts last night. He has refused to say anything to me all day today. So we all know what we need to do to get AmericaShirts to bring his butt in here. We need to actually chant for him. We need to actually mean it this time. We need to actually chant like we've never chanted before for AmericaShirts, because seriously do not know if he'll even show up, if he's even interested, if he's realizing that I'm even live right now. I mean, I realize it's 20 minutes after the hour. I'm surprised there's 31 people here willing and ready to watch me, you know, fumble through this night by myself. We're going to see how this works. We'll see. We'll see. I'm used to having a co-host. So with nobody to talk to, we'll just have to see. Come on, AmericaShirts. Of course, let's go to comments first. Let's go say hi to everybody. Who do we got? Who is all here? Printer God said giggity at 9:30. Oof, that's about an hour ago. Hello, Printer God, if you're still here. Miss Dinga Dinga said she arrived right at the top of the hour. That's awesome. Right along with Jess. I'm glad you're all here. M. Swartz, Rose, Sheeple Hunter, Late Lake Raquette. You know, sometimes things just happen where you just not you know that you have to go live. You know you do, but you have to do this and then you have to do that, and then you look over and you're like, oh, I forgot to fill the water bottle, or you know, there's so many things that need to be done. What's up, Jay Greenbaum? I see you. Let's see who else is in here. Ann Kirk, Alan Mueller, Jay Liebgott. Who else we got here? Chris Rowland. Rose likes the beard. Is she's laughing? Is it? I mean, it's growing. You know, so I mean, is it funny or is it? Let me know your exact thoughts. I have to turn off the camera otherwise. Just Don, how y'all doing? Good to see you. Glad you're here. Tonic, just kind of skimming through all these texts and chat. Try to read all of them. And Kirk, baking brownies. Sounds delicious. Is there anything special, any special ingredients you like to put in your brownies? That's a good question. The special ingredients in brownies are kind of necessary sometimes. Jay Greenbaum says, hey, hey. Hi, hi, hi. Glad you're here, man. Fabian G. Leslie Kohler's in the house. This is exciting. I'm glad that you're all here. If you want to have your name read off, all you got to do is simply say hi within the next few moments, and before we start the show. Tonic, what's up, man? Lucky Chucky. Oh, we picked up an interesting group tonight. Interesting group. Hi. Says hi. He's rolling. He's rolling because he's so high. He's like, he's up there by himself. No co-host. Come on. Let's go, America Shirts. I don't see the chant. Can I get the chant? Can I get everybody to say it at least once and just watch the whole thing just go? America Shirts. I know it's kind of an interesting word. It doesn't actually see America Shirts all one word as an actual word. You kind of have to add it to a dictionary. See, there you go. There you go. Chant it out. Start it. Get it going. Shirts, 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 shirts. Shirts, shirts, shirts. Come on. Edible panties. Ooh. That might be fun. Middle or edge of the brownie. Always the edge. You get one of those edge baking pans, ones that make every single one of them an edge brownie. You can't go wrong. Telling you right now, it's a life changer. You get that brownie pan, and you'll never worry about, oh, I have to eat the centerpiece. Not that it's a bad thing, because the center is good, but get that outside, get that corner piece. This pan gives you a couple extra corners as you go around it. And you get a couple of the centerpieces have two outside edges. There's a couple of them in there, depending on how big you cut your brownie. You can have lots of edges. I usually make, I don't know, depending on people's portions on brownies, I usually take about 3 or 4 of them with a big scoop of ice cream. So I'm gonna make her go eat her brownies. Just kidding. Let's see here. What is this? No. Come on, America Shirts. Click the link. Just click the link. Come on. Come play with me. All right. Let's start. Being that we got 36 people with us. 36 people. Anybody else that I did not say hi to, go ahead and say hi. I'll say hi to you before we actually start. You got 1 minute. While I pull this article up. Let's do. I don't like that one. I guess we'll do that one. Jessica Reloaded says, I'll play with you. You want to play with me? Sounds like fun. You want to join me? Makes it easier. You can't play with me without joining me. 36 watching, only 20 likes. Smash that like button. She can co-host from the sidelines, but let's just bring her in here. Let's just do this. That way, it feels like I'm actually talking to somebody as opposed to talking to myself. It's really strange when you're actually trying to cover news articles or whatever, and give opinions and thoughts, and trying to read chat, especially when you get this many people. And it gives you new perspective on things, especially when it comes to like watching somebody like Nick Ricetta. He's not paying attention to his chat. I'm surprised he pays his attention to his super chats as much as he does, because he gets so many of them. It really hands down to the guy. I mean, he's one of the best. It's amazing that he does what he does. So be excited that I'm even here and able to even do any of this for you. Right? Ambulance chaser, LOL, true. Yeah, exactly. So, Jess, are you going to join me, or you? If you're going to join me, I'll wait. If you're not, then I'm going to. Okay, there she is. Hello, Jessica.
Hello.
Oh, we get a nice strange hello. Koolfrogg? I know, right? I mean, in
Hello. There.
15, so or 10. So as far as that goes, just on, I'll play. Ooh. Who all wants to play? So I found a bunch of articles today that I found that were interesting, that were all dated for today. And I figured, let's kind of lay them out and see if we can't go through some news and kind of catch up with some of the stuff that we're kind of behind on. In some international news, you can see North Korea fires a short-range ballistic missile. South military says. So as far as, South Korea is pointing out that they're actually is seeing ballistic missiles being shot on the continent of Korea itself, or whatever the countries of, not the continents. Continent's a lot larger than that, right? So on these countries, so this is like these are just ballistic missiles. So I mean, how far are they? They're just short range. Let's see. North Korea launched a short range ballistic missile near the Northwestern border Sunday morning. Its 18th round of missile tests so far this year, according to South Korea's military. The missile was launched around 6:53 a.m. from North Pyongyang province, north of the capital of Pyongyang. The South's Joint Chiefs of Staff said in the text message to reporters it flew roughly 372 miles at its peak altitude for 37 miles towards the East Sea, also known as the Sea of Japan. According to Seoul, the missile is believed to have flown at Mach 5, or 5 times the speed of sound. The Joint Chiefs said the U.S. and South Korea intelligence officials were analyzing the launch, and Army General Paul LeCamera. See, we've come across this guy before, LeCamera. This guy, this commander, he's been around. He's been there for a while. And I'm assuming that we're gonna hear more about this guy in the future. The launch is a grave provocation that undermines the peace and security in the Korean Peninsula, as well as the international community. Peninsula, that was the word that I was looking for. So, they're raising tensions around everything that's already been going on. And it's really going to come down to something. It's going to come down to something real quick here. And I don't think a lot of people are really excited about this. I really think there's going to be some issues that are going on. So now I see this every single day. I need to actually stop because I just seen it happen again. So my camera freezes. Does everybody see the camera freeze? One's in chat for the camera freeze.
No.
If you see the camera freeze, let me know. I'm going to see if I can't fix that issue, if everybody does see it. I do notice that the internet actually or the article that I'm reading flickers on the screen of StreamYard. Does everybody see the flicker of that? Never noticed.
Yeah,
Everybody just listens. Nobody watches. Okay.
It's not. It's not doing that on my
catching my
end
eye,
either.
and it's bugging me because it's doing it. Is there
Yes,
peace
printer
tonight?
God. There absolutely is
Yes.
peace.
Peace. Peace here in the United States of America for the night. So as it continues, this is the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command said that the statement, it was aware that the launch and it was consulting closely with the allies and partners. While we've assessed that this event does not pose an immediate threat to U.S. personnel or territory or to our allies, the missile launch highlights the destabilizing impact in North Korea's ballistic missile programs. The statement ends, the U.S. committees to defense of South Korea and Japan remain ironclad. The Japanese Prime Minister's office, in a statement on its website, called for the government to take all possible measures for precaution, including readiness for contingencies. The launch comes 2 days after the USS Ronald Reagan steamed into South Korea's largest port for the first time in 5 years ahead of a joint maritime drills. Now, we've read about these drills. I've read about these drills in the last month or so. If you go back and you actually listen to anything that I had actually covered in the last month, you'd actually see that there is an article about these particular boats, this large group of ships entering the South Korean ports. So they're actually noting that this had occurred, and now there's more ballistic missiles that are flying, and they're actually calling it out and saying that there's, flying at Mach 5, throwing ballistic missiles into the Sea of Japan. I mean, they can't do anything good for the Sea of Japan in itself if they're actually throwing them into the ocean or the sea, because it's obviously a small area of water that's in between Japan and China itself, and they think that they can just sit there and launch these missiles into it. Like, it's not going to do anything to the ecosystem. It's not going to destroy the territories around it. It's really something really kind of disturbing. Hold on here. Peach the potato. Yeah, peace. We need a good war. Shake things up a bit. Jessica. Leslie Kohler.
She said her birthday is in a few, but weekends are the best. Are we going to sing happy birthday?
In a few, but weekends are the best. So you're celebrating your birthday? Are you currently celebrating your birthday? Who did we sing happy birthday to yesterday or day before?
Nerd.
Okay. So would you like a birthday song? We'll totally do that for you. Do it again on your birthday if that's what you want. I'm down. So as you can see down in the corner, this is articles left is 0. I'd have to actually subscribe to Stars and Stripes to read any more articles from them. So who knows if we'll ever see them again. We'll see. I'll look into it. That's why you see different newspapers, because we find different interesting articles. But that sounds like North Korea is actually trying to, start something. If they start something anywhere with anybody, United States is going to back, who's ever, they're going to back Japan. They're going to back South Korea, Australia. They're going to back a whole bunch of it. So once they start backing them, we're already just welcomed in, World War III. Are you saying yes? Hey, Debbie. Yes, you want the birthday song?
She said yes. I don't see it.
I didn't.
Oh. She said no.
Madcore, Dark Lotus. I think I said that. I didn't know if I said hi to him. Either way, hello. How's everybody doing? Do you have any feelings or thoughts about North Korea? No? Don't really care?
Not really.
How about Joe Biden? How do you feel about Joe Biden?
Impeach the potato.
Impeach the potato?
Yes.
I think there's most people around, even on the other side of the aisle, are starting to turn around and be like, yeah, impeach this piece of shit.
It really is.
I knew I'd spark a couple people up in chat. They're like, yeah, his handlers would make a show of
You know,
force.
to go along with what Leslie was saying, she's like, North Korea was okay when Trump was here. I feel like most countries were okay when Trump was in office.
There's an
Just
awful
saying.
lot of them, that's for sure. Still got 32 people. That's awesome. Love y'all so much. That's awesome. Some links around here for PayPal and buy me a coffee if you like all this, what you're actually seeing. You'd like to see more of it. We'll bring you more in the future. Check out AmericaShirts, AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com. Most base shirts on the planet. Use promo code Koolfrogg, get 15% off anything in the store. And let's see here. Look at this.
Yep.
Joe Biden. Hot Mike catches top U.S. ally calling out Biden. Humiliation used to be something Democrats cared about when our elected leaders spoke on the world stage and were mocked. But the left is ignoring the jab at their political idols by foreign leaders that unfolded recently at a United Nations gathering in New York City on Thursday. According to numerous reports, South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol
I'm sorry. The way you read that, I can't.
I mean, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name correctly. I could have looked it up and got Yoon
No, but that was cute. That was
Yeol.
cute.
Yoon Suk Yeol. Un Suk Ul. Is the Y silent? Does the Y make a W sound? Yes, yeah, right. Hot mic, huh? What? According to numerous reports, South Korean President, this guy, reacted to the foul banter, not realizing his mic was still on, criticizing both Biden and Democrat-controlled Congress. After his speech, Biden pledged $6 billion of Global Fund's 7th replenishment conference to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. But the funding would have been approved by Congress, the Daily Caller reported. With bipartisan support in the Congress, it had pledged to contribute up to $6 billion. They're just like bleeding money. It's okay. But it's already paid for, apparently. Are you fucking... When is it ever already paid for? You don't get to keep on printing money and being like it's already paid for. No, it's not. So I look forward to welcoming a historic round of pledges to the conference, resulting in one of the largest global health fundraisers ever held in all of history. I should have actually... This is Biden quotes. So there should have been a few words that should have been jumbled to the forward. I can't even do it. He's so fucking stupid. He can't even read. There's no way that this is what he exactly said. There had to have been some weirdness that happened. To a son, not under pressure. We could. How could Biden not lose damn face if these efforts do not pass it in Congress? Yoon asked his aides on a hot mic Wednesday.
But do we actually think it was a hot mic, or was it on purpose?
This guy right here. This is the South Korean guy.
Can we ask the chat?
Hit hot mic. How could Biden not lose damn face if these fuckers do not pass it in Congress?
Like, do we actually think it was a hot mic, though? Or do you think someone could have done it on purpose?
Do I believe it's a hot mic, or if it was done, it's amazing what actually does kind of happen, regardless to if it's on purpose or not. So I mean, you'd almost think that sometimes somebody just leaves a hot mic to see what they can pick up. Like,
Look what
I'm sick of this asshole and everything that has to do with them. I'm ready to walk out the door. I'm ready to move on and do my own thing. And then you end up coming up to something like, like, you know what? I'm done. Here you go. Let's go catch this hot mic real quick, and we'll, you get people that are publishing. Look, hot mic catches presidents called. Insulting members of the U.S. Congress as idiots. That's the Washington Post. This one's seeing that this has actually happened. This one,
But did he lie though?
What do you mean? Did he
I
lie?
see no lies. When he called them all idiots, he wasn't like. I mean,
well,
they kind of are.
No. Yeah, I mean, really, he wasn't lying. When they call them all idiots, they really are all idiots. Every single last one of them.
There you go.
So it says Truth Press reported. What's that?
A lot of people are saying they're agreeing with me that it was on purpose.
It was on purpose? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Sometimes things happen on purpose. Come on, AmericaShirts.
Okay, go ahead.
Make it happen on purpose.
You see, guys, he's already trying to get rid of me. He's like, you keep interrupting me because you're laughing and shit. Like, get off my show.
No, not at all. I just wanted. I know that he has a thought on this. I know he does. When I put together a show, I don't put together a show for just me. I put together a show that I know after I get to a certain point, I can trigger him to go off on one of these political rants or to pull out a voice of sorts. And it's just so funny. Makes me laugh.
Yeah, shirts rants are the best. Nobody can top that.
We don't really need to read the truth thing or whatever. It's there's a second article that's actually tied to this. I will put these in the description down below so everybody can actually click on them to actually finish reading anything that they would like to finish reading. Let's see. I got some interesting stuff that I figured I could get. Thanks, Leslie. Glad that you enjoy. Oh, look at this. From the Washington Stand, it says Americans are more worried about socialists than MAGA Republicans. Really? You don't happen to say that more Americans are more worried about the socialism that's being produced and shielded as democracy is being the issue. When I've seen this, I'm like, oh, really? You don't say. It's a short article. So this is, while the left often circumvents real issues that concern Americans, a recent poll highlighted that ideology, most are afraid of socialism. Reported on Monday that 55% of Americans are more worried about the socialist left than MAGA Republicans. Why do you think that they're more worried about them? What is their stance? What's the difference in stance between the socialist left and the MAGA Republicans? Do you know what the stance is? What the difference is, Jess?
Sorry, I'm trying to read along with you, but it's too small. What'd you say?
I just read the first paragraph. That's all I read. So it says the socialist left and the MAGA Republicans. So it says 55% Americans are more worried about the socialist left. Do you know the difference between the socialist left and the MAGA Republicans?
The socialists left are the cuckoos. In my definition. Then,
Tobacco? No. I ignore polls.
Okay,
I know Little Galaxy says I ignore polls.
I see.
Dang. Well, that's too bad.
So Dark
Trump
Lotus says too many
2024.
differences between socialism and MAGA. Exactly. Exactly. Hello, Tish. All right.
Too many differences? Yeah. I mean, really, there is quite a few differences when it comes down to it. I mean, just to point out the easy, simple talking points, of the abortion stance. What side is for and what side's against?
Yep.
Same with gun control.
And
Red
pot.
tape laws. There's so many, and you look at the ones that are actually pushing these regulations, these laws, and you actually look at the difference between what MAGA Republicans are actually, it is a thing. It really is, and it's very large. It's a very large group of people that are actually consider themselves MAGA Republicans as opposed to just being a Republican. There is a slight difference in there. As some of the things we believe in, but some of the things that they push, we really seriously don't. Alan's been watching my camera, so it froze for a second or two for you, and it's what it's been doing. I'm thinking of actually changing from the StreamYard to the Melon. The Melon seems to not do that. I don't notice it actually buffering out or restarting itself. Thanks for letting me know that you can actually see that. Miss Dinga Dinga says, I'm an ultra MAGA proud girl. Yeah, I mean, you see that, that's a Let's Go Brandon behind me. It says, I do have it rigged where I can pull the one flag off and actually leave the other flag that's hanging there behind it up. The flag that's behind it is a Trump 2024 flag. So as far as that goes, I'm totally with you on that.
Trump 2024. Just saying.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's see the article. It says the poll comes after President Biden's speech in Philadelphia, where he called MAGA Republicans an extremism that threatens our very foundations of our republic. According to the report, only 45% of Americans are concerned about MAGA Republicans taking the driver's seat in politics, despite President Biden's assertion that he didn't believe all Republicans were threats to the nation. The Harvard Caps Harris poll found that 60% of the surveyed deemed the speech divisive, and 54% said it was fear mongering. It was
Seems to be a lot
fear
of that
mongering.
going on.
So, I mean, go back a little bit. So, despite President Biden's assertion that he didn't believe all Republicans were threats, not all of them are threats. Why? Because he sees them rhinos as friends, and that's what they exactly are. So he's like, "Oh, I see that there's some out there. Some of them are actually starting to move themselves over to the left as opposed to staying on the right because of certain beliefs and certain ideologies and whatever that they're actually pushing." I prefer war as my choice of mongering. Yeah, I mean that's an awesome choice. 60% surveyed deemed the speech divisive.
Oh.
So I mean that speech that he did, we watched that speech together. Bought a few coffees for me, Leslie. Thank you.
Hi-ish.
Let me see what I can.
Good to see
See
you.
if I can't see it.
Leslie says she
Thanks.
didn't watch the speech.
Thanks for the 10 spot again. It's awesome. Didn't watch the speech. It was a Sunday. It was a Sunday that we watched it together or whatever. It's the one with the red background that we actually aired, and I had several different people on the show with me. That speech in particular, that's the one that they're actually talking about. So this is Biden maybe pointing his fingers at Donald Trump and his supporters, but are the polls pointing back at him? On September 20th, President Biden tweeted, "I am sick and tired of trickle-down economics. It has never worked. We're building it in the middle out." Now, we've heard that. We've heard that from him several times. That's the one that he's used on his whole trial of the basement of trying to get to president. He used that speech over and over again. The few times that he did climb out of the basement, and because he used the same speech, like most of them do. If you watch a Trump rally, he doesn't change it that much, but he changes it enough where he actually individually calls out certain people and has them, come up and say a few things, but right in the middle of his speech. Could you imagine somebody coming and stopping Joe Biden in the middle of his speech and Joe Biden trying to get back at that? That ain't happening. No way. Now, for years, he said trickle-down economics is a lie. The left has. The left has called trickle-down economics a lie. They've over and over again called it a lie. And now he's sick and tired of trickle-down economics. It's never worked. If it was a lie for the longest time, but now it's not working, what's the point? What's the point of trickle-down economics if if you believe that it never existed, pointing it out as saying it never worked? Because that's exactly how things do work. If I go and I'm the owner of a job, this is my livelihood, everything, of a business, everything is mine, and I go and I hire 3 people, and I have to pay them a wage. I have to pay them a wage that they can actually live off of. I'm not going to pay them, that, because there's no way I can afford that. Because if I paid them that, I'm not getting paid anything. So the first bunch of people, before we start making money to actually give them a raise, start off at like a minimum wage, which I don't like minimum wage either. I think that we should actually have our own individual wages depending on skill level. As far as that goes, that's pretty much how things work, and that's the way they've been working, is off of the level of skill. You know how to run a computer? Oh, great. You know how to run a CNC machine? Even better. You know how to run a CNC machine that can actually, build something better than what you actually thought was there? Yeah, awesome. Now you're hired, because when you have skill levels to go places, that's how shit works. For him to say that it trickle down economics doesn't work, and then you go and you look at how everything works and how things cost something. Like, you go to the McDonald's and you see the price of the burger. Well, you got to remember, you're not just paying for the burger, you're paying the person that's up there making the burger, plus the person that took your money, which apparently they're actually doing away with in a lot of places. I haven't been to a McDonald's in years. I've been told that most McDonald's have actually moved themselves to these digital boards that you walk up to.
Yep.
And eventually somebody comes and drops off a tray for you with your food on it. And it's like, well, what the hell is that? That doesn't even sound like fun. I don't even want to. Why would I even want to go there? It's the most retarded thing in the world. But telling me that trickle-down economics doesn't work is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. tell me it's a lie to only change your mind and saying that you're sick and tired of trickle down economics because it's never worked? What the fuck are you talking about? You told me for years that it never existed. Now you're telling me that it doesn't work. Which one is it? Oh, you're a hypocrite. You have no clue. You're just going to say what you want. So let's see. Trickle up socialism always fails. Another one would say, I'm tricked and tired of government redistribution of the capital. It has never worked. And one more comment read, not like people escape socialist countries like the plague. Nah, not like America had spent decades fighting against socialism. Nah, socialism for all. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because socialism sounds so much fun. Like, oh, here, I'll give you half of everything. Absolutely nothing. Ha ha. Guess what? You give me half of everything you have now. You might be just better off staying with the system that we have, and you go to buy me a coffee, and you just, throw me a couple bucks here and there, and we don't have to worry about, eventually me giving you half of my nothing. Ellen Walsh, you love Biden, Koolfrogg? I hate that motherfucker. He's a piece of crap.
Really is.
Just kind of skimming through. If you want anything particular read, make sure that you actually tag me. You had me at coffee. Yep, there you go. buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. Throw some cash in there. It's fun.
He does the new graphics card, guys. So if you can
I do. I have problem playing videos. Okay, let's see here. Many have sounded the alarm on America's socialist leanings in the past 2 years, among which immigrants who have left socialist countries were at the front. Mario Bramnick, president of the Latino Coalition for Israel, said, what we've seen in the past 2 years is nothing less than chilling. We've seen this movie before, and I don't want to rerun in America. Bramnick pointed out that politicization of the DOJ and the FBI and the raid of former President Donald Trump's residence, the DOJ targeting parents who attend school board meetings, critical race theory, and woke culture concerns Hispanic Americans who are wary of government overreach. Big government isn't the only reason for fear. The public has watched leftist tech giants muzzle free speech, leading to state-led lawsuits and push for alternate social media platforms. A 2020 Cato survey found that 62% of Americans were afraid to share their political views because others might find them offensive.
Yep.
So if we look back, that's 2 years ago. 2 years ago, in 2020, we had people that were lighting buildings on fire the whole summer. Do you remember the summer of love? I remember the summer of love. I lived in the state of Minnesota where this shit broke out. Because George.
Yep.
Fentanyl George caused more unrest than any other. And we're going to sit there. There you go. There's your percentages. Survey says more people are afraid to tell you what their political leanings are because they don't want you to actually be like, oh, you're this or oh, you're that. You know what? I like Trump. How do you feel about that? Because that's where exactly where it leans to. I'm just sick of the crap. I really get rid of all politicians, replace them with people like Trump. It's good stuff. Socialism always demands party conformity and allegiance and punishes those who refuse to comply. Of course it does, said Dr. Emir Kinnear, president of the Truett McConnell University, a family research council vote stand summit, recounting his wife's story, who immigrated from former socialist Czechoslovakia. Kinnear maintained, you can imagine that she's nearly terrified for the present climate of politics in America. Now the fight is not between liberalism and conservatism, it's between socialism and freedom. That's disturbing that is exactly what it comes between is socialism and freedom, because you're not free under a socialist regime. And if you go and you put the United States and turn it around that way, we're going to have some big issues. There's going to be a lot of I don't think so. Nico, good to see you. When in reality, how you doing?
And Kirk says, "Oh, I'm definitely a Republican voter, not ashamed to say it." You know, it's like for example, I was showing you my homework the other day.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't answer the prompts, because it was literally asking me what my political stance is without asking what my political stance is. And I feel like that being put into a discussion board for college classes, it's literally it's giving people the opportunity to jump and attack each other. Now, I posted what I posted onto it, but I did not go back and check the comments because I don't want to see it. Leslie, it's still up. I didn't remove it.
You don't want to see what they had to say about your answer? Did you not? You didn't answer it, right?
I did answer it, but I just didn't want to go. I don't want to go back and see like people attacking me and then get into it with them, because ain't nobody got time for that. It's still there, Leslie.
I was gonna say, did you take your stream down?
No, it should still be there. I don't know why people are having trouble
We'll
finding
we'll
it.
go check here once they got one paragraph left in this, and we'll kind of. Oh, did you have a point to your? I'm sorry.
Oh no. So what I was trying to get at is like it's 2022, and even to this day, it's it's not that I'm afraid to share my political stance, but it's like, do I want to deal with the drama that comes with sharing it?
Yeah, because really, when it comes down to sharing your thoughts on it, it really kind of triggers a lot of people. People don't like these flags that are behind me. They don't like it. They don't like it at all when they see this big, huge "Let's Go Brandon." They're like, "Well, what the hell?" You know. Let's go. There you go.
Yeah. And you know what?
To only see a Trump 2024 flag, people get lit, and they're like, "Wait a minute here."
Yeah. And
I don't like that.
Like my thing with them asking that about in college, which I agree with Nico and Alan Walsh. I do that in some of my assignments, not gonna lie. Ish is saying it's illegal to ask how you voted and who you voted for, which they've also done that before. And I literally wrote in a whole Word document, I'm not answering that. And I turned it in and I still got an A. So my thing is also not just the outcome of them coming for me, but also, is my freaking professor going to fail me because I don't agree with his views? So that's where I was going with that. But yeah, go on.
Oh, I think there's too much in this last paragraph here. It's the last paragraph. This is, on the other hand, Ellie Beth Stuckey, conservative commentator and public figure, encouraged the audience of PVSS by saying Christian in every way that you can, in every sphere that you occupy, in every tiny speck of eternity in which God is purposely and providentially placed. You will be a threat to evil, to be a threat to wickedness, be a threat to propaganda and lies, simply by being a Christian, simply by representing and pushing for that which is good and right and true. And it's interesting that, it comes down to the religious side of things, is I was never seriously that religious. I did do the whole baptized all the way through confirmation, through the communion, through the confirmation of being Catholic. I went to one of the more interesting churches in the area, of even the Midwest. One of the more interesting churches. It's actually a basilica. It's one of the larger ones, and actually belonging to Catholic Church for so many years and being confirmed to not really practice, don't really care about religion when it comes down to it for the most. I consider myself more of like a non-denominational Christian, where I read the Bible. I don't really go to church all that often. I do go every once in a while, but you see that, obviously I'm not some follower of leftist propaganda, like watching mainstream media. Yeah, I read a lot of news articles off of different sites. I go to different places. I look at different styles of articles that are out there. But yeah, when they push, a religious aspect to things or whatever, it seems as though is the majority of people that have more of a Christian background to themselves seem to be a little bit nicer, not so ignorant to everything, and don't really have the tendency to push the propaganda of one-sided speaking, and leaving out the other and thinking the other is like totally wrong, because I mean, obviously there's ways to actually speak of things and actually get people to understand where you're coming from, and they'll think you're a normal person and be like, well, even though they believe something slightly different doesn't make them totally different.
Absolutely.
But AmericaShirts, his religious aspects are very, very different. Religion is man-made, faith is personal. You know, everybody has their own ways of actually looking at things. So that's why we like everybody, because everybody has their own thoughts and opinions. Oh, let's see here. Where are we
That's
at?
true.
Hour?
I actually agree with Lil Galaxy 56. They said religion is man-made, faith is personal. I always thought of it that way. I've always looked at it this way. Like, we all believe in God, but religion was put into place to like kind of categorize people and cause divide. That's how I've looked at it.
You're Catholic too, though, right?
Yeah, born and raised, but so I actually when I was growing up, I actually went to church every Sunday. I was like one of the little altar girls, to communion, all that, and For 6th and 7th grade, I was in a private Catholic school. Didn't like it, went back to public. And then all throughout, I want to say 8th grade to about 11th grade, I was actually in choir for the church. And then after my grandma's passing, I kind of fell out from the church. So I go to church once in a while. I do believe in God, but I also like Chat is saying, faith is personal. I believe that you can believe in God. You can have faith. You don't really have to go to church or do all that, you know? That's just my stance on it.
So let's change the conversation a little bit here. We'll kind of spin it up
Good
here
night,
just a
Rose.
touch.
Rose said good night.
Rose. Good night, Rose. Sleep well. Make it as big as I can for everybody to actually check that out. So this is from Tom Gone Woke. This is Colorado Diversity and Inclusion Training led by the United States is instructing cadets to use words that include all genders and to avoid words such as mom and dad. Some families are headed by single parents, grandparents, foster parents, 2 moms, 2 dads. Consider parent or caregiver instead of mom or dad. Use words that include all genders, folks and y'all instead of guys, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend. And the presentation states, titled Diversity and Inclusion, what it is, why we care, and why we can and what we can do, not only tells cadets to use person-centered words to describe people, it also advises them to use general terms when talking about a blind person. Not colorblind or I don't see color, but color conscience. Oh. We see color patterns and value people for their uniqueness, it says. The presentation claims that the course is necessary because for developing war fighters, be prepared to lead the USAF, USSF with character. Meanwhile, a group of GOP lawmakers are calling for the U.S. Air Force to quit their woke agenda. In a letter, Lindsey Graham, Congressman Mike Gallagher, and Michael Waltz wrote a letter to Secretary of the Air Force Frank Kendall expressing concerns over the presentation. As veterans, we are proud of our service experiences and the opportunities that it's provided. However, we want to ensure that the Air Force is focused on outpacing the threat and make certain we can recruit and retain the best airmen to accomplish the mission. That line right there. The best airmen to accomplish the mission. I don't give a shit what the hell you want to call yourself, as long as you're the best airman, woman, whatever it is. You see what the wording on everything. I don't care. If you're looking at the wording on something to go pick on it, you're over analyzing what is being brought in front of you. You don't need to worry about the wording. You don't need to worry about what they're calling you. Let them call you what you are. Just do that. Just stop with the bullshit. So sick of it. So, specifically, we are alarmed with the curriculum at the Air Force Academy in instructing cadets to use parents, caregivers, guardians instead of mom and dad. We believe that focusing on pronouns, race, and gender instead of unity and mission does nothing to deter our adversaries. Nothing. Does nothing at all. We consider this as a readiness issue and remain concerned about the opportunity cost to training, the negative impact on recruiting and retention. Really seriously, do not give a at all about any of it. It's seriously so ridiculous that it's come down to the pettiness of not just one side thinking that they need to actually get into it. It's when you're actually putting your Congress and your military into the same basket, you've gone too far. The military in Congress should not be tied together the way they are. They shouldn't be the ones that are worrying about what the Air Force is doing or saying or however they're doing it. All they need to worry about is that they're doing their job correctly so that they get to keep it. The Air Force is for the people. The Air Force is not for the government. Yes, they take direct orders from the government when it comes to international dealings, but when it comes to the civilian life, what's going on to them, that we come across such an article like this that actually gives us this kind of information, is very interesting, because apparently there's somebody that has actually seen it happen where they're actually being told to stop calling them whatever they're calling them and that they prefer to be called something else. Now here's the deal. I've done some pre-military training stuff or whatever for the Navy. I was part of something and I did a couple little things to get ready, and some of the training that they do beforehand to make sure that you're even can be taken at all is kind of, labor intensive, and there's some, math that you have to do and some other, literatures, as well as other medical tests that you do at the very beginning. It's an ASVAB center that you go to, that you take these series of courses. And when you actually do that, the one question that they actually ask you, and this is years ago for me, this would have been back when I was 17, 18 years old, and being 45 now, you can kind of think, this is a long time ago. They ask you, what do you want to be called? It's usually drill sergeant standing right in front of your face. They say your name, they state it straight out to you, and they're like, what do you want to be called? A lot of them have nicknames that they had since they were little kids, and they called their nicknames, and that's what they're going to call them. They're going to write it down, and that's what they're going to be called the whole time that they're actually in there. And if it's a short, because your name has 15 letters in the first and 16 letters in the last name, they're like, nah, we don't want to call you that. They're going to call you the shortened name. And a lot of times they already have nicknames. What do you want to be called? So if now they're actually going forward and they're actually saying, this is what we want you to do, tell us what you want to be called, makes no sense to me why anybody needs to interject and actually have anything to say about it whatsoever for these 3 Republican congressmen to actually, stand up to it. It's great, I guess, because we need the best. We don't just need somebody. We don't need you to get the job because we're including you for other inclusion reasons, other than that you are the best for the job. You are there to protect us from foreign invaders. Well, some domestic ones too. Right? We got 25 people with us still. I'm not doing too bad. Throw something in the chat for if I'm doing okay.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah. Oh. Dang. Hey, Chris Rollins says, my full name is Christopher. I go by Chris. My nickname is Bubbles. And my pronouns are FU.
I love that. That is awesome. See? Alan said you're doing a grand job.
Yeah, well, there's people like Alan that actually like me, though. So
Oh, so you're asking the people that don't like you? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, somebody can give me some constructive criticism if
Okay.
they prefer.
So people who
I didn't
don't
say
like
you.
Koolfrogg, how do you think he's doing?
I'll take some constructive
I like
criticism.
you.
It works out
So
that
I
way.
Debbie says, so I can't say the person who delivers my mail, the mail lady. According to the cuckoos, it's me. You can say what you want, Debbie. Fuck them.
Just say it.
I just cussed.
Let the world hear it. Scream it loud.
Leslie's giving you hugs. Aw, thank you, Leslie. Hugs back at you.
Ooh, group hug. I like group hugs. So, being that we were talking about the left, this one here, it says far left activists cheer Capitol Police killing of Ashley Babbitt, then get triggered by Capitol Police on a bike. Now, I know dang well that AmericaShirts would have a big whatever to say about this, because I know his feelings. I know what triggers that guy. Where are you? Come join us.
He's still idle. Here, I'll try to call him on Discord.
I know he's watching. I know he is. It doesn't even have to show that he's watching. I know that he's watching. He's watching under a different account.
He's incognito.
Yes. So, this is a must watch. Far left activists cheer Capitol Police. So there is video. We'll watch this little video here. If we can. If it allows us to. We'll see if we can. We'll take it down to 360. I'm telling you, I need a graphics card so bad. Anything that you got. Anything to help me out.
Y'all heard
Hit up
he
that
needs
buy
a
me
new
a coffee.
graphic
Hit up that PayPal. These videos will flow so much better. There you go. Oh, yeah.
If only you could see my face right now. I wish you could see my face right now.
Because of the dude, he was on a bike. He's like, and she's like, oh wow, oh wow, get out, little, what?
Leslie, this
You
is
get your
absolutely a
dude,
Karen.
chuck your man. Is this a Karen? I mean, I guess you can call it one. I would almost think if we did a poll on are Karens from the left, we would almost get that a majority of the people actually would probably say yes, most Karens are on the left. You don't get too many Karens that are on the right. Karen, I couldn't imagine a Karen being on the right. Michael Palmer, what's up, my man? How's it going? Yes, what do you want to be called? Takes a whole different meaning. Today's language, proper pronouns and other PS them they, which used to mean at least two people. Is yeah, I that's why I say, what the? Are you kidding me right now? Like I said, this is basically this is a segment that was intended. Oh my lord! Oh, it's AmericaShirts.
Cool, I can go now.
Well, you don't have to. You can stay.
Am I here?
You are
Yes, you're
here. Everybody
Oh.
say hello to AmericaShirts.
Did I wake you up because I called you?
I mean, maybe, you know.
Oh, sorry, not sorry.
Not that it was a bad show. I was thinking it was going pretty good. But, oh my God, dude. I was about ready to go from, I'm like, this particular article is intended for AmericaShirts. See, you got a bunch of people in chat. They're like, oh, shirts here. Yep, Shirts is here.
The one and only Shirts is here.
How's it going today?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Did she actually wake you up?
No, I was doing a bunch of other, I got caught behind on a lot of different
Did you
things.
intend to even do a show with me at all tonight?
Well, I kind of forgot because I thought you had sent me a message that from yesterday where you did you say Monday or tomorrow?
No,
Oh, you said
I said
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Well, there you go.
What should be today? Leslie says all your shows are great. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you feel that way. So, did you want to watch some cool videos of leftists swearing at cops on bikes? This is what she chants. She said, Ashley effed around and found out. That's what they.
Is there like 5 people there? Oh God, look how fat that one is.
Shirts.
What the hell are they beating on? Is this like a freaking what are those, like water cooler containers? Or they just like decided to put I don't know, like a piece of
It's a
their
makeshift drum.
skin over top of or something because they're freaks.
Oh
Decided to
God.
beat on it like an Indian drum.
So it says as the group moved across the lawn, through their anger became directed towards one officer who was riding on the bicycle next to the group along with other police. The group was headed shouting expletives towards the officer, including motherfucker and piece of shit, demanding that they get their badge number. I'll remember that, bitch, one woman shouted after reading his badge. Little fucking bitch, she continued. Yo, get your dude, check your man. You cannot obstruct the walkway, you piece of shit. And then says, a group approached the protest, at one point remaining across the street and shouting, insurrectionists crying, and Trump is a loser, a little baby loser. Yes, I'm a loser. I'm just a little baby loser.
Can you do that, please?
So, let's see here. Button I clicked on the video. I gotta go
I
back.
mean, these people sound like freaking little kids that got let out of a daycare, and they're like, yeah, let's just wait. Like their parents gave them flags. They're just like,
Yeah, I bet all of their
what the
parents are so super proud of them for
I know their parents are like,
being
oh,
so brave and standing
so
up in front of everybody else and looking like a freaking moron with rainbows and black flags and I mean, you think about it, you go and you change the crowd, you put people in red caps and Trump flags. They're not sitting there chanting little baby losers.
it's so like, oh, Chris in the chat, so disorganized. I've
They're
heard
definitely
better.
not marching down the street in sync.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. That's not them. And meanwhile, kids walk by and ask their parents, "What's wrong with them?" Yeah, exactly.
I mean, exactly. There's like a little kid in a stroller, and they're just like, "Mama, what's wrong with him?" Like,
Wow.
oh my god.
Just wow.
Oh, that's the insurrectionist one.
Oh my god.
What was the exact words on that?
You have to scroll down a little bit. I thought. There it is.
Insurrectionist.
Crying.
Insurrectionist.
This person literally sounds like they're crying.
Winning says, if Trump was a little baby, Biden would have his hands down his pants while sniffing his hair.
Very true. Very true. That is very true.
Debbie said, I taught second grade students who were more mature than these immature jackwagons.
Indeed.
Then they grew up and they come up with their own thoughts and their own intentions.
Please speak some more, Thois.
Alan says, I bet they know how to grow spam. Yeah, they're like orcs. They just like look at one. They just like look at one of the weak ones, and they're just like, "Hey, dinner!" And then they just go eat it.
Oh, Shirts, you showed up at the perfect time. You
Good
really
night,
seriously
Anne.
did. Oh, Anne, you're leaving now? You're leaving just as we're ready to talk about human composting?
That's gross.
California legalized it. Sure you don't want to stick
I
around
hate
and
it
listen?
here. I still hate it here.
Otherwise, sleep well there.
Is she from California too?
I don't know. I don't really ask people where they're from. So I just assume they're from somewhere on this planet.
Ishk
said she'll
says
stick around.
bees are
Okay,
fish.
I'll stick around.
Ishk says bees are fish. And indeed they are. Indeed they
These
are.
are
California.
fish. California said so.
Dear Lord.
We cannot question
Jessica must comply.
We cannot question the infinite wisdom of the great Gavin freaking Newsom, aka the Joker, before he fell into the acid. Then again, who's to say that he hasn't already fallen into the acid? He's just like not painting his face like what's his face did in that first Batman movie. What God, what's the actress name? Anyway,
So it
Jeff
says
Nichols, right?
It says California is about to give people a third option that will do
That's why you never really see him
with a
outside. He might
body
sweat and the
after
paint falls off him.
death. Instead of just burial or cremation, the state will now allow people to choose human composting or natural organic reduction. Starting in 2027, Gavin Newsom signed Assembly Bill 351 last week, according to the San Francisco Gate. The process of composting a cadaver, already legalized in Washington, Colorado, and Oregon, really involves placing the body in a reusable container, surrounding it with wood chips and aerating it to let microbes and bacteria grow. After about a month, the remains would decompose and be fully transformed into soil. Companies such as Recompose in Washington offer the service as a natural organic reduction facility. Oh, the process
Soylent
is
Green,
considered.
ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the funny is the process is considered green, as it doesn't require the burning of fossil fuels and emission of carbon monoxide. According to National Geographic, cremations in the U.S. alone emit around 360,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year.
Well, then how about we don't cremate? How about you just, bury your dead like people have
Yeah.
done forever? How about we do that? How about is that hard to ask? Oh God, I don't even want to see this.
So
Are they
my
really?
only-
Are
my
they
only
really
thing-
going to like?
Okay, so my only thing with this, like with this concern, is we already have a lot of murders in California. Like, are they gonna get in trouble for burying bodies in their backyard? They could just say, "Oh, well, he did. I was just using it as compost." Some people will look beyond the legal aspects of it, like what they're saying, because people don't follow rules. Does it
Well,
make
no, right.
sense
This is the
what I'm asking?
incentivization of the industrialization of a human being. This is dehumanizing him.
Yeah,
Right.
but you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Right.
Like,
right.
Okay.
Like it
So
would
I'm
be the
saying
excuse to make a human being a commodity, whereas you're trying to get away with the crime, but it's okay because I'm just using them to go green or make a commodity or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the whole World Economic Forum thing. This is all of that kind of stuff where it's they dehumanize you and they kill you, or they like turn you into meat, or they turn you into compost to put on a field so you can grow more Bill Gates's GMOs and crap. I mean, like they have all of these fantasies of all of this stuff that they wish to make true. And as you're seeing, as an example, as you just read off, they're making things like this legal in certain states.
Weird Debbie M says, I have plenty of property to bury people. Right. Gold in people's teeth, right?
Ish.
AmericaShirts,
I
would
think
you
her name was
mind
Dorothy.
sending that photo that you have of the giant horse dressed like people? I have friends who just got rabbits, and I want them to see what's going to
hares.
far looks like.
The giant hares. He means those giant Flemish rabbits. Is that what they are?
Oh, I thought I'm sorry.
Remember
I seen
the
an
day
horse
showing the giant rabbits. What are those rabbits called? You can do that.
Yeah. Should we watch the video?
Yes, the Flemish giant rabbit. That's what it
Divinity
is.
said, "Stuff me like an animal. It's taxidermy for me."
Can we do that beforehand?
Yeah, Ish. I
You're
think her
not
name was
human
Dorothy.
anymore at the end of this process. At the end of the process, you cease to be human.
The climate.
There it is, right there. That's all you need to know. Right, exactly what they said. At the end of this process, you cease to be human. That's what this is about. This is dehumanizing you. This is a death cult. These people are obsessed.
You really are.
With death.
You're not human anymore at the end of this process. At the end of the
What is that
process, you cease
haircut,
to be
though?
human. Eventually, you just let go of that.
I mean, that's what, right? I mean, that's a haircut of a cultist. That's a haircut of some freak who loves death, who doesn't love themselves and wants to see human beings be destroyed. Like that's what they are. Like this is what they do. They're obsessed with this. It's insane.
Miss Dinga Dinga says, always trust a lady with that haircut. I'm so confused right now.
Winning? How can you not trust someone with a haircut like that? Being a hairdresser myself, when I see people with weird haircuts like that, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well, right. It's like somebody who has their hair dyed in like 80 different colors. It's like, is there something wrong with you? Like, are you kind of, I don't know, discontented with yourself a little bit? You know, like, do you have something a little bit wrong with you? Like, you don't like your own hair. Like, you have to dye it. You're not even putting highlights in it. Like, even some guys will put highlights in their hair. Like, no, like, it's like, no, these people like freaking dye their hair in the most unnatural, freaky looking ways. They cut their hair all whacked up. I mean, these people look like these weird, creepy, pagan death cult people.
That was great. Now we're going to jump ahead. You're going to take us into the back
insane.
And show us a little bit of the testing area and the final product.
And look at the background. Yeah. This is so dystopian.
Couple things happen after folks have been through the cure.
Trespassers will be composted.
I mean, they're literally making jokes out of this. Like this is their obsession with death. They love it. That's their whole life is death. Is watching death. Like they love this. And they think, oh, it's green. No, it's not green for the earth. It's green as in Revelations, behold a pale horse or a pale green horse, like the horse of death. That's what these people are. That's what they want. These people are obsessed with death. When you think of green, don't think of green leaves and whatever else they want to talk about. No. Think of like a green skull and like a poison sign or something, you know, like that's what these people are.
So, okay. So now we understand AmericaShirts' stance against this. And I'm kind of with them on it. It's kind of weird.
It is.
It's kind of, there's some strangeness to it. Now, the difference between burial, cremation. What's your thoughts on those?
Oh, mine?
Yes, AmericaShirts.
Well, I have a religious perspective on that sort of thing of cremation. Because the body is made in the image of God, and there is in the scriptures there is a resurrection day, and so for you to go off and like try and destroy that, and again, this is a religious perspective. I'm not saying that anybody who's done this is thinking this sort of way.
So, are you kind of against the cremation then? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, yes, I would. I would be from a religious perspective. Yes, I understand why some people have done things of that nature. I understand why these things have happened and so forth. But I think as a general rule, just it would be better. And I think it's better as well because it humanizes people even in their, because like when you go to, let's say, someone's funeral, it's like, I mean, you can see the body, like the body's there, right? Like their body is there. And that, like, they passed on, whatever. Like if you just cremate someone and then like, oh, there's a jar, you've like dehumanized it, right? Like it's just like it doesn't sit right with me. And I'm not saying that it's wrong for people to do that in a retroactively speaking. Like I'm not saying that, oh well, if you've done this, you're a horrible person. But I mean, I do have a perspective where I do hold human beings and humanity in that kind of high regard, in that way, being in the image of God. So yeah, I do kind of, well, not kind of, I do take a stance against that as a practice. I don't think it should be that much of a prevalent thing. I don't think it should be very well normalized, but
I understand that. I actually
What?
understand that.
I was just gonna say. So, Jessica, did you? You kind of had a half a thought there before I kind of said AmericaShirts. Did you want to?
Well, I was gonna say, because I know growing up, I was told that cremation was against our religion, but then so here's the thing. So when my grandma passed, we buried her at a Catholic cemetery, and I saw that they had this like wall area where they put the cremated remains, and it made me wonder, like, is it really against our religion or not? But then at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole religious aspect of it. Like I said, I pulled away from religion. Like, I do believe in God and whatnot. I just don't follow the religion. However, my stance on it is like, if I'm dead, like, I don't care what the hell you did to me. I prefer cremation because like you can use my body as like fertilizer or whatever. But at the same time, it's like I feel like burial sites are a waste of space, if that makes sense. And no disrespect to your religion, shirts, or your opinion. That's just my stance on it.
So,
well, it is respect.
There seems to be a new person
those who
that
have
just
passed
entered
in
our
their,
chat.
and that's the perspective, I guess. But
Right,
anyway.
Solo 2469. It says it's just a vessel, in my honest opinion. Did you see the article that we had just read on human composting? Just a question, because if you just walked in here and you didn't see the article on the human composting, maybe we could actually read a little bit to. I'm sorry, no, just got here. Yeah, see, that's what I figured. So they want to actually process cadavers like they already do in states of Washington, Colorado, and Oregon to actually they put out a bill last week that would actually create this thing that would allow them to put you in a box with wood chips and other to decompose and turn to dirt, which then they would actually in natural organic reduction facility. So I mean, they just they're going to allow your body to decompose. How do you feel about that? That's what we're actually chiming off on. Is that, to me, sounds like it's a little far, but at the same time, with all of these other strange options that are now available to people, on top of not really caring for, personally caring for cremation, but would still do that because I do have those early childhood beliefs of being that we would be returned to the earth. If you return to the earth as dust, what do you just dust, you blow away. I mean, if we're eventually supposed to according to religious aspects supposed to be returned to this earth, I don't really see how we're returned if we're decomposed that way either. And I don't. Maybe we do because when you think of embalming, we didn't embalm people for how long? Well, so I mean, I don't even know when embalming even started, and if it's even a religious thing. Why are people talking to me in Discord? Why does that happen? Everybody's like, "Oh, I'll talk to him now."
I do see that Winning Reality said in the chat a little earlier. He says, we discussed image of God on my stream today. I have a different take. I look at it as it's a spiritual image, not physical. Well, there could definitely be a debate in order on this particular topic. But if you're talking about something, let's say, like I talked about with the resurrection, I mean, it does say in the same way that Christ was raised, you also will be raised. And of course, Christ was raised on the third day from the grave. And he says to Thomas, he says, put your hands in my hands and in my side, right? Like, the holes in my hands and in my side, it's me, I'm alive, right? Like, so he was resurrected. So there is again, you read in the epistles that it says the same thing. You will also be raised. So anyways, there could be a whole discussion on that. That would probably be kind of interesting.
That could take a show of its own. I mean, that's something that, if you got a notepad sitting out in front of you, take down a bunch of notes and, throw some stuff at me or whatever that I can read, and we can actually hold a conversation on it. Because I wouldn't mind. I'm sure there's other people that wouldn't mind us actually, doing, one of those shows.
So I agree with Nico. What is your take on it? You heard me in shirts. What's your take on it?
I'm really kind of, like I said, I'm kind of against it. But
yeah,
would it be my, if I was cremated, would it be upset? If I, found out that's what happened? Maybe.
Ambulance chaser.
How are you
says,
going to find out if you're already dead, though?
Because when they, try to raise it, us all over again, that's what I'll come back as dust, as opposed to another quote unquote vessel, according to some.
Ambulance chaser says, is it your physical body being raised, or is it worded that way due to the translation? No, because as I just said, like, Christ was raised from the dead. It was his body. They went to the tomb. His body was not there. He was alive. And again, he told Thomas was doubting. And it was like, oh, Thomas was doubting in the Bible. And he says, here's my hands, the holes in my hands and my feet. Like, he tells him to put his hand in his side. And Thomas puts his hand in his side where they stabbed him with the spear. Like, so that is a literal physical resurrection. We are made in the image of God. It says that in Genesis. So it's not like a weird translation thing. This is a consistent pattern that you see within, and again, it's in the Gospels, it's in the epistles. You can go back to different things in the Old Testament. So
because also, people are interested in the stuff that we're talking. Tonic just sent me this one. It's just a little minute and 20 seconds.
No.
We're just going to listen to the very beginning of it, like the first.
Oh God.
Have you seen this?
A human being, like, do you see how like that's a human being's body? Like, do you understand my perspective on this? Like, this is so disrespectful. This is so egregious to just try to like dismantle and use something that was made in the image of God. I mean, the scripture says, I knitted you together in your mother's womb. Like, God made each and every one of us, and to just destroy and discard and like treat with such disdain and disregard and disrespect is just egregious to me.
So, you can that was Tonic that had sent that to me, that freeze dried one. Thank you so much for the trigger. It just
Oh, Ambulance Chaser says,
what did they do back in the days before they started burying people in their own coffins, 6 feet under and all this other? Did they mark, when was the first grave site marked, and when was the first coffin actually made? I mean, you actually see, movies, TV shows, or whatever, where they, from back in the West, where they would like measure you, whatever, So it's like, you knew eventually you're going to be put in a coffin. So everybody's going to end up in one. They're
Hey,
all about the same
Koolfrogg, I'm gonna
size.
go chill and chat.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, I'll see you.
Okay.
Later there, Jessica.
Chill and chat. All right, sounds good. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you on most of that or whatever. I really, being that we're speaking of corpses, we're gonna still spin this up a little bit. Speak of some other corpses, like this guy.
I hope you mean that politically. Allegedly.
Gavin Newsom announces his decision on campaigning for president in 2024. Jess left just in time because I know how she feels about him. She left just in time. She had to have seen. I know that she has rights to see what's in that lineup for the stuff for the show or whatever. I know that she had to have seen it and been like, "Oh, I know what's next. I'm out." Just kidding. Chad. Hello. Welcome. Not all cultures burn their dead. People have been buried probably since dawn of time. And I was originally from Minnesota, and I actually lived in the Hastings area for quite some time. There's a very large set of mounds for burial for natives of the area. So when it comes down to it, I get that. There's so many different forms of burial that we've gone through over the years, and just we're supposed to be buried as whole human beings, is my thought. Doing the cremation, doing the nitrogen thing, doing all those different ways and forms just seem a little weird, a little strange.
I mean, it's designed to dehumanize and designed to try to turn human beings into a commodity, literally. I mean, that's what all that stuff is. I mean, well, we just went over. I mean, all of that stuff. It's the same idea as like Soylent Green, but instead of you eating, it would be fertilizing as well. What you would also eat or have some in supplementation. I mean, that's these globalist, sick, disgusting, dystopian hellscape nightmare they want. So, anywho's.
Yeah.
And this guy signed it into law.
Yeah.
And now he wants to be your president.
We were just talking about this guy. This is the guy that just signed this stuff into law or whatever. Was trying to get this bill passed that'll allow that type of stuff to actually happen. Is this guy? This guy that's running for president of the United States of America. Now, anybody that's from California that I've talked to have had the same thoughts and ideas that I have, that this guy's a piece of crap. How he actually got his job was because of his ties to people like Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi.
Exactly.
This is her nephew, by the way.
Yeah, her nephew. Democrat California Governor Gavin Newsom has declared his intentions for 2024. The governor was at the Texas Tribune Festival in Austin on Saturday when he was asked if he would consider campaigning for president in 2024. Business Insider reported. Not happening. No, not at all, he said. I've said it in French, Italian, and don't know German. I mean, I cannot say it enough, but thank you for humbling.
He doesn't know
It is
German.
sweet.
The
It's a
Yahtzee
nice
doesn't know
thing
German.
to be
Okay.
asked. I mean it. And I never trust politicians. So I get why you keep asking. What?
Yeah, this is horse shit. Of course he wants to try to run. Of course.
California, I mean, what a gift, the governor said. 40 million Americans strong. We talk about laboratories of democracy, and we're able to scale ideas that have impact all across this country
Hold on a
and
second.
around the world. Hold on. I'm very proud of that privilege, and I don't take it for granted one day.
Listen, read that again where he says this is a laboratory of democracy, and think about what we were talking about just beforehand. A laboratory
Oh, I know.
of democracy.
These articles
40 million
are
Americans.
lined
I
up
mean,
this way on purpose. I took my time today and actually did the work to actually give a good show, because I've given crap over the last week, so they're getting a good show tonight. I knew that I'd get a decent following tonight, so yeah, still have 36 people watching. Glad you're all here. Smash the like button. Pull out your peen. Smack it hard. Then you make sure when you're done here, you go over to AmericaShirtsAreFirst.com.
oh yeah, totally. Hop over there, people.
If you haven't done that already, you'd be surprised what you can find. I still have to buy a couple myself, so I could use some assistance in doing so. Let's see. California. I mean, what a gift! I read the whole paragraph, didn't I? It says, "I was almost recalled last year. They went after me hard. That's sobering, and that wakes you up.
Oh my
how
God!
Vulnerable! How fast this is! How people come and go, and people cut you off."
Like literally, he's like, oh, they just cut me off. Like we're entitled to, like we're supposed to vote for you. He's literally telling you, you're supposed to vote for me. You just can't cut me off. I mean, this guy's a literal tyrant. Holy crap. And he just tells you to your face. Holy freaking crap.
His name has been rumored as to be among those who could compete for Democrat nominations for President. Joe Biden decides that he does not want to campaign again. Only if he doesn't want to campaign again?
It'll be between him and Hillary.
You think?
Hillary, Goblin Queen Clinton.
No, she already said that she wasn't. We read articles saying that she said she wasn't. We heard her say that she said she wasn't.
I wouldn't be too sure.
But last week's sources who spoke the Time Wrap said California Governor Gavin Newsom has undeniably, unequivocally going to step and run if Biden doesn't. Whispers that Biden will not run again have turned into rumors and then outright predictions by party insiders over the past year, especially as questions about his mental fitness have grown. Oh, stop.
Haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe.
We're not going to watch your little video. Go away. For instance, just last month, New York Rep. Carolyn Maloney, who serves as the chairwoman of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform, told the New York Times that Biden would not campaign again for the job on the comment she intended to be off the record. She was asked by the Times editorial board, should Biden run again, and responded by saying, off the record, he's not running again. The Times responded, not off the record, on the record. On the record, Maloney said, no, he should not run again. So, he's actually, there's an awful lot of people who are like, no, just no Joe Biden, don't ever run ever again. We're against you. We're totally against anything that you have to say. We don't like you. You're a worthless pile. And Kirk says, good night, Koolfrogg. 4 a.m. came early. Thanks for the great stream. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a wonderful sleep, and we'll see you around.
Yeah, later.
Maloney has said in the recent past she does not believe the president will make another White House bid. Earlier in the month, she said during the three-way debate for New York's 12th congressional district against Gerald Nadler, the attorney Suraj Patel of
Hey, Jerry.
uh,
Jerry Nadler.
of Biden.
Hey, yo, it's Jerry.
I don't believe he's running for re-election, according to the New York Post. So somebody actually running against Gerald Nadler. I mean, it's about time, and hopefully somebody actually takes him out. I don't care if it's somebody on the left. I don't care if it's somebody on the right. They need to remove that big blob, that big turd. He can't even walk without farting. He's just disgusting, old man.
Oh, hey, here.
I knew you had to have something.
We've all had it up to there. I mean, with this guy.
I've had it up to here. He got his pants pulled all the way up to his tits.
we all had it up to there with him. I mean, it's just. Anyway. Keep in mind, he was bigger just 20 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. If you can believe that, and he's still alive. I mean, he was bigger. He had 2 moons that I recall, but now he doesn't have any. He's lost a little bit more weight, so it's fine. Anyway. Whoopi Goldberg has like 4 now, I think, or something. Like however many women she's got there is like orbiting. Anywho's.
Oh my Lord, what the fuck is this even saying to me? So it says the question was, and then put to Nadler, should President Biden run again in 2024? And while he was less direct, he also would not commit the Democratic Party's titular leader, titular, 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 either way. It's too early to say. It doesn't serve the purpose of the Democratic Party to deal with that until after the midterms, Nadler responded. And in a 60 Minutes interview that aired on Sunday, Biden himself cast doubts about running again. Sir, are you committed to running again, or are there certain conditions that have to be right? Interviewer Scott Pelley asked, look, if I were to say to you, I'm running again, all of a sudden a whole range of things comes into play that I have requirements. There's a dash there. This is a Biden quote. So, being that there's a dash there, let's see, a whole range of things coming into play that I requirements to have to change the. Nobody has a stutter like he does. Only he has that stutter.
Right.
I have to change and move and do. So let's see, what does it say here? The whole range of things come into play that I have requirements. I have to change and move and do. There are requirements for him to actually run again, and I'm hoping that there's gonna naddle in a titular fashion. Yeah, see, that's the wording is weird.
Titular is title. It means something. It's derivative of the word title. Someone who's title bearer, someone who is usually of honors belonging to an office or dignity with duties, functions.
Alan Walsh, you just changed the thought in my mind. Yes, sexual requirements.
Titular. So it's pronounced titular.
No, I'm
Or is it
talking about what Alan said. He says sexual requirements. Because the paragraph or whatever, the statement from Biden says a whole range of things come into play that have requirements I have to change and move and do.
Oh.
Changing, moving, and doing.
Oh.
What you got here? This speech?
Bud's that clapping?
But the truth is, there's a lot more Republicans out there taking credit for the new bridges and those buildings that are collapsing.
Buds that can collapsing.
Huh? What happened? Buzz that's collapsing? You know. Buzz just collapsing.
What a fool. Oh my Lord. I just can't believe it. So, okay, let's just go back to this. And it's much too early to make this kind of decision. I'm a great respecter of fate. And so, what I'm doing.
Too bad you don't have that same respect for God,
I'm
you
doing my
bastard.
job. I'm going to do that job. And within the time frame that makes sense after this next election cycle here, going to take next year, make a judgment on what to do. You say that it's much too early to make that decision. I take it the decision has not been made in your own head. Biden comes back with, look, my intention, as I said to begin with, is that I would run again, but it's just an intention. Biden replied, but is a firm decision that I've run again that remains to be seen. It's a firm decision.
He also said something about like,
Do they have to make you firm before they cut it off when you're doing the transition? So do they have to make it firm before they do the transition? Just, oh my Lord. Go ahead. Go with your thought.
well, Biden was saying in this 60-minute interview, since we can't play the 60-minute interview because it's 60 minutes, he was saying something about, like, well, right. How can we trust you, right? Like, how can we trust what you're doing? What, do you have the mental capacity to be in office? Da, da. And he gave the single most incoherent response to that very question. The entire interview was kind of okay-ish, But then when that question came up, that was like the worst response ever.
No, right, exactly. And I believe that's this one right here, if I'm not mistaken. So it says doubts about Biden's intention or ability to run again have obviously factored into Newsom's decision. Here's the quote that is the top California fundraiser closest ties with Newsom and his family told the Wrap. So it says, after this midterm election is over, he absolutely is going to announce that he is running for presidency once Biden announces that he is not running. So ifs, ands, or buts, he will run if Biden does not. Why wouldn't he try running up against him? Is he that confident that they would do the same thing for Biden that they had already done and continue doing that? Is that possible?
I mean, are you asking?
It's just Koolfrogg, you didn't see He's changing the voting laws. Like, president's changing voting laws, or are you talking Kevin Newsom?
I mean, didn't we go over like a bill that the House wanted to pass for trying to do something with elections? Maybe that's what that's referring to. I don't know.
How long you got? You gonna stick around for a little bit?
Well, how long is a little bit?
Well, I mean, we got, I don't know, we got another 3, 6, 7. They're shorter articles. They get shorter as the time goes on. They get funnier, get more interesting. So this is Peter Doocy and Jean Pierre get into heated exchange once again. I believe this one did not have the video. So I'm just going to read it out real quick. So this is Fox News White House correspondent Peter Doocy pressed White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre over Joe Biden's stance on abortion restrictions. And no surprise at all, Jean-Pierre refused to fully address the question. During a press briefing last week, Doocy asked Jean-Pierre for at what point does President Joe Biden support imposing a limitation on abortion? He assumed that the White House disapproves of Lindsey Graham's call to ban on abortion after 15 weeks, in which the press secretary replied saying that Republicans are calling for a national ban and that will put women's health at risk. Your position on Graham's plan is clear. 15 weeks is unacceptable, Doocy said. I was speaking directly to what Republicans are trying to do. They're calling for national ban, which takes us backwards, Jean-Pierre began to say before Doocy chimed in. A limit of 15 weeks, right? The national ban, which will take us backwards and put us at risk in the health of women. And here's the thing about this, Peter. It's not just national ban on abortion. We're talking about privacy. We're talking about contraception. We're talking about marriage. That is what extreme Republican officials are trying to do. That's what we're speaking to. I'm not going to get into specifics here. I'm just going to lay it out what they have said that they're going to. Doocy once again pressed the White House limitations on abortions. How many weeks? Peter, I'm answering your question. What Republicans are trying to do is take us backwards. They're trying to take away the rights and freedoms of Americans. That's what they're calling out, and that's what we're going to continue to call out. House Republicans oppose a pharmacy bill that would deny women essential medications such as of September, 166 House Republicans have signed on to a heartbeat bill that would decide abortion at the federal level, even though 28 of those members have since said decisions about abortion should be left to the state. However, she refused to answer a simple question. Why can't you say how many weeks? Why can't you say? Doocy said, becoming agitated. This comes after Biden claimed the Catholic Church would not support a 15-week pregnancy limitation on abortion. I happen to be a practicing Roman Catholic. My church doesn't even make that argument now. Think about what these guys are talking about, Biden said. That's the end of the article.
Wait, so he says that. So Biden says that.
Biden says, I happen to be a practicing Roman Catholic. My church doesn't even make that argument now. Think about what these guys are talking about. So, because obviously Biden's totally for abortion. We know that Biden's for abortion. We've known this for a while. When it comes down to, the Roman Catholic Church, that's been around for a long time, for him to actually come across and say that he's against or whatever, and then still claim to be Roman Catholic is impossible. You can't be Roman Catholic and still say that you're for abortion.
I would say you can't be Christian and still say that. Just
Good night,
period.
Alan.
Oh yes, good night, Alan.
Sleep well, my man. But yeah, period, right? Church?
Yes. Yeah,
Kind of cut you off on that. Biden is not for abortion. He is for trafficking 6-year-olds. The actual truth is that you effed and tossed the board 40 years ago, yet you won't acknowledge it. Take the expletives out of your stuff, dear. I totally want to hear your opinions. But you keep on putting expletives in there and you're going to get them removed. Because that's why YouTube's flagging it. It doesn't like it. Biden's against abortion, so he can have more kids to sniff. Yep. Ambulance chaser's correct. There's no expletives in there. That's what YouTube keeps on flagging, those expletives. I'm telling you. I mean, all right, what you got?
Here's this. Since we were talking about that thing earlier. Oh, freak! This stupid advertisement crap bugging my website. There we go. There we go. Look at this. Look at this headline here. So, Beyond Meat's COO Doug Ramsey suspended after allegedly biting man's nose. He literally bit off a piece of this dude's nose. I mean, these people are literally. I mean, it's like. I mean, you can't even make this shit up. It's like we're literally talking about this of like these people love a culture of death. They love this, they love that. They want Soylent Green, they want this. And then we have the literal COO of this company is suspended for trying to bite a person's nose off. I mean, it's like you can't make this stuff up. Like if someone put this in a storybook, you'd be like, "Oh, this is so stupid. This is too obvious. Like, get rid of this." There's no like, well, maybe the guy that commits the crime of trying to bite someone's nose isn't actually the guy that wants to, take away all meat and goes along with this whole entire agenda of using human beings as meat and weird soy products as a meat and bugs and things as meat. Like, no. It's not going to be that guy. You're going to make a twist at the end of the story. It's like, no. It's just literally this dude that he's for all this crap and he's in this death cult of these people who hate people. And there he goes off and tries to apparently, I guess, bite a piece of this guy's nose off. Like, it's the most insane thing. Yes, Memento Mori, it's like a Babylon Bee article. I mean, it literally is. Like, this is a literal parody. This is the most insane thing. I just saw this when I was looking up a couple of things, and I was like, oh my God. Outside of the University of Arkansas's football game, for allegedly punched and chomped on the victim's nose. He was literally gnawing and biting on his nose. He was trying to eat his nose.
What was he on? He had to have been on something.
On his own products, probably.
No, he had to have been in some massive something or other. Usually that's what it comes down to. Some kind of narcotic.
But that's how insane this is. I don't see any narcotic in here. I don't see any of this crap. Like that's all. I mean, that's
I
it.
mean, if he can
That's all
totally
there.
be maybe just that insane, but we don't have insane asylums any
Ramsey was
longer
arrested
because
Saturday for the attack, which left the victim with the
that's mean.
flesh taken off the tip of his nose. Oh, what? So wasn't that he tried to? He literally did. He ate his nose.
What Pure Slide does to the motherfucker. Yeah.
Ramsey was arrested, which left the victim with flesh off the tip of his nose, citing a police document. He's accused of threatening to kill the man.
He says, "I love Big Pharma too."
Ramsey joined the vegan company after he was with Tyson Foods for 30 years. I mean, it's just, you literally cannot make this stuff up. Oh, he probably did. I mean, hell, I mean, if he's that damn crazy to do that stuff, oh yeah, he probably did swallow it. I mean, like,
so,
oh my God. I mean, there's no, I mean, again, like I'm looking at this. I'm not seeing anything with narcotics. I'm not seeing anything with like drugs or any of that. I mean, the dude just got mad and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to eat you. What? And he's the COO.
This one.
He's like second up in this company.
That's ridiculous.
Anyways, we were talking about that thing earlier, and then I was, looking around for different stuff there for a second, and that popped up on my radar, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even see this.
So did you see this fire?
Oh yes, I saw that. Yeah. That was it, the second largest processing plant in the world.
Food processing plants.
France.
Here's another one. This one's in France. This one here says a manufactured food crisis rose as the world's largest fresh product market, Rungus, going up in smoke. When I seen that, I'm like, that's interesting. That's very interesting that such a thing just so happens to be happening. Because, there isn't enough oopsies and, daisies that are going on around the world, when it comes to food processing plants. It's just amazing. Another one. No conspiracy theories around here, people. We're just just saying. Nope. Just reporting the news. It's all it is. We're just reporting the news. Going up in smoke.
Nino in the chat, EU mandated safety measures.
me and you. Me and you.
A lot of good that did.
That's right. Oh. Yeah. So let's see here. What was it was this lady. Okay, now we haven't heard from this lady in a while. It excited me when I actually seen that there's an article from the New York Post that was actually highlighting Jen Psaki.
Oh my God.
It's great.
And listen to what she said. Can we play this at all? This is NBC. I don't know.
Oh, we're playing it.
I mean, just listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that Democrats, if the election is about who is the most extreme, as we saw, Kevin McCarthy touch on there with Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'll say.
Yeah, I figured.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, go figure. Let's see. Can we pause it? Okay, pause it. Good thing it's in an article that I can actually read the words if it doesn't allow me to actually play it. This is why you go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg and you go to support me immediately so I can update my graphics card and get a decent one that will actually do the job that it needs to do. It's only a few seconds. We'll skip it back to the... Okay, let's just stop sharing. And of course... Okay, I'm going to play this a time or two real quick. It's only 54 seconds long. Just to be sure that the buffering issues will go away. It's so ridiculous. Whatever. Right? Exactly. Jen's hockey makes the computer so sick it refuses to play her.
I know, literally.
I'm totally with you, Phil. This is not consumer. Okay.
So she says before this, she says, if this is a referendum on who's more extreme, and I'm going to say Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm going to say her name. She was on the right side of Kevin McCarthy. But then she says this.
If it is a referendum on the president, they will lose. And they know that. They also know that crime is a huge vulnerability for Democrats. I would say one of the biggest vulnerabilities. If it is a referendum on the president, they will lose. A referendum on the president, they will lose. It is a referendum on the president, they will lose. If it is a referendum on the president, they will lose.
They will
Holy
lose.
shit.
If it's a referendum on the president, they will lose. They know that they're getting ready to lose. They know what's coming. They know what they need to ramshackle through in the next 2 years if they actually can keep going the way they are. If we can actually take them off of their position, if we can pick up enough seats in that Senate to actually flip it over and take these people out of these positions that they're in, peach the potato, take them out of the positions that they're in and actually fix this crap. Because look at this, top advisors. She had one of the. I mean, she was sat in the position before Karine, So I mean,
She literally stood up there and was like, "Oh, Biden's the greatest presidential administration ever. Everything's fantastic. Afghanistan was fantastic. All of this is fantastic." Now she's on MSNBC or she's on NBC News. Oh! If it's a referendum on Biden, they're going to lose. Like she's just throwing Biden under the bus after a year. It's like, I mean, these
she's
people
just circling
are
back.
just.
It's okay. She's finally getting to that point.
Unbelievable the level of gaslighting. They just turn right around, and she's like, "Oh, I'm not lying. Oh, I'm not a liar. Oh, Peter Ducey. Oh, you're just like trying to be disingenuous or whatever. Like, oh, why are you saying this? Like, oh, I'm not trying to like misinterpret things or whatever." And then she just turns right around and is like, "Oh yeah, if it's a referendum on Biden, the Democrats are going to lose because like Biden's shit." Like, I mean, she's just literally telling you this. I mean, it's so insane. The level of gaslighting with this is so insane. I mean, these people are just, they're so disgustingly wicked. They just lie right to your face and they do not even care. They don't flinch. They don't blink. This woman could probably pass a lie detector test and lie right to your face, looking at you straight in the eyes. Like, it's so insane. Anyways, there's that.
So with this article, I have something else that I had in there, I think. The president's disapproval rating is at 53%. And while the percentage of Americans who say Biden accomplished a great deal or a good amount has increased by 5 points since last November, 57% say he has accomplished little or nothing. 57% believe that he's accomplished absolutely nothing. Go fucking figure. Because what has he absolutely done for us? I want somebody to actually give me some good reasons or some good stuff about what he actually did for us. I bet not a single one of you can come up with a good reason for anything that he's actually done for us to keep the man around for anything. The lefty Democrats are psychotic, for sure. Yeah, I don't know why that's flagged. Really hate it when they flag retarded things. I can say that.
You can.
Yes. So this
I mean,
article,
Nancy Pelosi could probably
next one is kind of out of place. I should have had
you
this
know,
one
come up
one
with like
slot over.
couple
I
of
guess
things.
it would have kind of made a little bit more sense for it to be a slot over. But there you go. Kamala Harris suggests you don't have to change your faith to agree with Democrats on abortion. And that's why I said it should have been one over, because it should have been next to the other claim on abortion stuff or whatever. But yeah, we already went through this. We don't need to really go through it anymore. Like I said, it should have been next to the other one. Would have made a lot more sense. What do you got here? It's the United Spot. Time for a giggle break.
Take a lot of pride in my work. So you want me to name a few things? Is that right? Yeah, name a couple things. Well, I would actually love to, but
Oh wait. Let me restart.
So what was that? What was what? Did I fart? No, last night. I farted last night. Oh man. Hey, did I poop my pants too? Oh, Jill's gonna be so mad at me. No, Joe. Last night. Last night.
Nico, what's BTS?
Is it yesterday or tomorrow? House drinker. Why are you so upset? I'm upset because, the peasants, they don't appreciate President Biden. How come? Well, because they don't know what he's done. I'm pretty sure everybody in America has seen what he's done. No, they haven't. Well, what has he done? What was that? What has he done? Well, I mean, take your pick. There's so much that he's done. I mean, just don't know if there's enough time to tell you all the things that he's done. I've got time. I didn't know you were Catholic. Oh, I'm not Catholic. Oh, I'm sorry. It just looked like you were celebrating Ash Wednesday. No, I'm celebrating Wednesday. You're celebrating Wednesday? Of course. I celebrate every Wednesday and every other day too. So, how'd I do last night? Well, there was a lot of material. Oh, well, thank you. I take a lot of pride in my work. So you want me to name a few things? Is that right? Yeah, name a couple things. Well, I would actually love to, but I'd feel horrible if I left something out. Come on, Nancy. You can name one thing. Well, let's see, he chose a woman of color as his vice president. All right, Joe. That's
Memento
my name,
Mori
right?
says,
Yes.
what's on her forehead?
I knew it! Joe, people are talking about your speech last night. Can you use that in a sentence? Joe, what did you mean when you were talking about corporations? Well, there are corporations incorporated in with other corporations. And in each state, these incorporated corporations, they make up some of the biggest incorporated corporations in America. Was that the teleprompter talking? Oh, no, that was all me. So what was going on with your mouth last night? Yeah, sorry about that. I was, actually got quite a few emails this morning.
Religious
I
smut.
was actually having a stroke. A
stroke? A bit of
Yeah,
ash.
just a little stroke. Are you okay?
Is that what that
I'm
is?
fine. That was...
What?
Ash.
Oh no, that's not at all. That's
So what was going on with your mouth last night? Yeah, sorry about that. I was, actually got quite a few emails this morning. I was actually having a stroke. A stroke? Yeah, just a little stroke. Are you
What's on
okay?
her forehead?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. That was nothing. Just those all the time. So how was it?
I'm pretty sure that. I mean, because it's not like Easter time or anything like that, like Ash Wednesday, like for Lent or anything. Like this was made like several weeks ago. I'm thinking it's like a bruise. It's supposed to be like a bruise, like coming out from her brain because she keeps having strokes or something. I don't know. I thought that's what it was supposed to mean.
Just those all the time. So how was it?
So
Well,
anyway.
that's what I'm like. Is it Ash for like Ash Wednesday or whatever? That's exactly what I was thinking about. That's what I'm like. Is like this from back then. So she would, because she claims to be Catholic, but also runs around as a Democrat, screeching and screaming about Trump and her just being her difficult old self. Oh, I should find another clip of her. Put it up in my reel. So let's see here. Let's share this. Let's go with. There's some current stuff that's actually happening. There is this Ian strengthens now. This is actually updated as of 40 minutes ago. It says Ian strengthens Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama potential path of the season's second major hurricane. You can see the projection is actually putting Ian up into the panhandle of Florida, and it looks like it could be very dangerous for some people that we even know potentially. Let's keep everybody in our prayers as this actually
starting
happens.
to shift a little more east. You can see there is a pretty widespread.
And of course, I'm never going to be able to play anything. I need that graphics card. I'm comfortable now, though. I have a new chair. So, thanks to you all. Yes. Of course, I'm not going to be able to play it, so we'll just leave it alone. Either way, as you can see, it's actually going. It's projections are up into that panhandle or whatever. So, like I said, we do know people that live in Florida, people that may be affected by such a thing as this occurring. Let's keep them all in their prayers. It doesn't look like just Florida could be affected. Because they did name off a
For the
couple other
models as we
states.
travel towards coastal southeast Georgia, towards central Georgia. Now, as we go over the next few days, we'll be able to fine tune more of our impacts for us. Winds again up to about 65 miles per hour with the 11 p.m. update, rapidly intensifying as it makes its way towards the Gulf. By Wednesday, it is expected to become a Category 4 hurricane with winds up to about 130 miles per hour. Now, as it makes its way towards the landfall, it's looking like likely towards Florida. It will weaken quickly. That's because it's going towards an environment that's, again, not great for hurricanes, but that's a good thing as it makes its way towards Florida. Winds will come down towards about 90 miles per hour. Then it makes its way towards southeast Georgia. Now, the cone is still pretty large, but whether it's a little more west or if it's towards our coastal areas, we'll still see some impacts, mainly from Thursday evening heading in towards Friday. So this is what we're thinking. Heavy rain will be our greatest concern.
There's that.
Flooding, especially coastal flooding with that.
So, I mean, I don't need to broadcast their whole broadcast or
Right.
whatever, but you can see it's going to continue to update itself, and it looks like it's actually could occur within the next 4 or 5 days that it would actually impact land. Let's hope everybody's safe and ready for anything that does happen, because we know that these things can be very dangerous.
Yes, indeedy.
It's not Andrew. We can predict where your dick lands via your social media obtuseness. Me and you is very colorful. It's very fun to have in chat. It'll be rainy. Yeah, you're gonna have lots of rain. Lots and lots of rain through that area. Travel up the whole coast or whatever, but we may cover it by the end of the week. We may not.
Also, in Canada, they face their strongest hurricane that they've ever had, on record anyway. That is Fiona, is what it was called. It hit Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, and they're dealing with some cleanup up there. I forget. I think it was was it a Category 1 or a Category 2 at that point? And that was pretty strong for them that they've ever faced, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that as well as far as storms. And that hit Canada, I believe, Friday into Saturday. So just an update for that. But yeah.
So there seems to be a growing number of large groups of individuals that flock together and ransack stores, as opposed to just going in there and stealing a bunch of things. They're making a mess, destroying the place. Right, vandals, exactly. They're destroying it. This is a group of vandals was caught on video Saturday night, allegedly ransacking Wawa in Philadelphia. Allegedly, F off. Come on now. How is this allegedly? And of course, it's going to give us a buffer issue. I'm going to scroll past it. We'll go back to it.
Circle back.
It says, you're all stupid for real. The sandwich maker was recorded.
You're all stupid.
Sandwich maker, you're all stupid for real. The sandwich maker who recorded the trash and can be heard saying, you're all ugly, stupid, broke. Amid the jumble, upset customers asked, are y'all making our sandwiches or are y'all going to keep recording? The sandwich maker replied, it's going to be a little while. Yep. That's exactly what I would say too. Be like, yeah, it's going to be a little bit. I threw this article in show setup. Can you go over and grab it?
Oh, yeah.
See if we can't play these videos. Seems as though I'm having an issue buffering.
It does appear that way.
Following today's disarray of store, the left trash with piles of destroyed goods in aisles and ruined products scattered around the floor and a separate video revealed. So there's a couple different videos in there. A mob apparently moved the rampage outside.
You're all stupid. For real. You're all.
Yeah, see, and it just froze again. So I'm going to stop it.
I got it.
And I'm going to stop sharing. You got that? All right, there you are.
Yeah. Is it up there?
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so here's the video.
You're all stupid. For real. You're all ugly, stupid, broke.
Ugly, stupid, broke. Nice meeting you. Yuppity bonkers.
I mean, the nerve of this freaking woman. Like, what the hell? It's like, oh yeah, my store is just being ransacked, So, no, that bugged down on me. What the?
So, yeah, disturbing in itself. There's one thing that I had left. So I went through the stuff that AmericaShirts did. I did not put in there, but if you actually look at the thumbnail and the thing that we actually viewed on that, just because I didn't feel like digging around looking for a picture. Like, screw it, let's just do this. So, seemed to have worked. I've done it before. So, last article on there, it's a little bit of reading. This is for, everybody's enjoyment. A little strange. Comes out of the New York Post. Says daughter sleeps with father's best man at wedding. Dad doesn't know. So a daughter has shared how she slept with her dad's best man on the night of his wedding, despite him having a family back home. Influencer. So I don't know who this influencer Stella Berry really is, but you know, I, I guess we categorically are considered, opinionists on the YouTube. We may be influencers of sorts. I don't intend to influence anybody with this article. This is just the article that's there. So this is influencer Stella Berry said it was the first time meeting her father's friend, who had flown over from Sweden to be the best man at his wedding. The 23-year-old described him as a smoke show and said that she was instantly attracted, but never thought the feeling would be mutual. However, after the ceremony, she was invited back to his Airbnb, where the pair ended up sleeping together. She regaled his TikTok followers with her TikTok followers with the story of a two-part video series entitled How I Got with My Dad's Best Man at His Wedding, where she explains exactly what happened. My dad is having his wedding and his now wife in Montana, so I flew there for my best friend, she explained. I mean, guess that's her. I knew my dad's best man was Swedish, but I didn't know he was so hot. During the wedding, I'm sitting in the front row, and he's a groomsman, so he's standing right in front of me. We keep making eye contact, and I'm feeling so much tension between us because he is so attractive. I just kept writing it off. I thought, why would he do that to my dad at his wedding? Why would he be into me in the first place? He runs a hedge fund. I just graduated. But cut to the after party. That is where stuff got serious. Stella explained her dad's best man and her dad's other best friend, who she has known since she was 4 years old, invited her back to their Airbnb. It's around 4 a.m. at this point, and we started talking. We're laughing. It's all good. My girlfriend had fallen asleep, and there's no Ubers around to get back to our hotel. I was like, I guess we'll have to sleep here. And I lay down next to him. I wake up the next morning next to my dad's best man and my friend. Obviously, that night we did stuff with my friend sleeping right next to me. He drives us back, and I was so nervous because he's so cute, and I didn't know if he even remembered that we got together, or maybe he regrets it. We don't talk about it, and I don't tell my best friend. And she takes a couple more pictures, apparently. After her friend flew home, she was preparing to catch her own flight back to LA. But as it turns out, her dad's best man was on the same flight. The whole time, I'm so nervous, but I'm so enamored. Part turns out he knew exactly what we did and had no shame about it. But we didn't talk about it at all until my saying goodbye to him. He was saying how he didn't want to leave me and that he was going to miss me so much. Then he gets on the plane, and I get a text message from him. It's a photo of his hand. It's a nice watch on it, grabbing my thigh under the sheets the night we were together. Then she got back home. Stella said they texted a few times, but she had her fling soon, faded shortly after he had got back to Sweden. Oh, she's kind of cute. I wasn't really interested in keeping it alive, she said. I didn't really think that my dad could find out, and it was going nowhere. So I couldn't keep talking to him. He had a whole family back in Sweden. I think they were separated, but still, as far as I know, my dad never found out, and I never told him. And I'm pretty sure his friend never told him because they're still friends. What do you think of the story, America Shirts?
Disturbing.
Okay, now let's ask all the women in the audience. Was it okay story? Can we do disturbing stories at the very end of every night?
Yeah, we gotta do something a little different.
It's disturbing. It's perfect for the end of the night. Why is this news? I don't know. I don't know why it's actually in the New York Post. Nico says, anyone get wet by Koolfrogg's reading? Oh, well. Seriously, what are we at? 2 hours and 47 minutes. I mean, sure, most people seem to be okay with it. I mean, we still have 33 people watching us. That's exciting. How many likes do we got? Everybody hit that like button for me. It says 37. Clearly not everybody's hit the like button. Crush it for me. But that was for the ladies in the room. If you didn't like the disturbing stories, please let me know. I'll stop doing them immediately. Otherwise,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the roast
maybe I'll
of
do another
Joe
one.
Biden. What's going on? Don't worry, Joe. You'll forget all about it tomorrow. Wow, I just noticed that's Michelle and Barack over there. Thank you for being here and taking a break from firing 50 landscapers in one day. I don't blame you, though. 50 of them and not one leaf blower in sight. You got them out of there faster than Benghazi. Michelle is starting another bookstore. What is that, like 12 books? Do the proceeds of your books go to school lunches? Kamala Harris is in the house. This woman goes through knee pads faster than me and Joe go through diapers.
Okay, stop.
Every time I see her, she's wearing a new pearl necklace.
Stop. Do you see? You see what he did to my awesome moment at the very end of the show? Is he went and he put some crap like that up there? That seriously, I want to know how many people think that the stuff that those. I mean, I can't. Never mind. They're all funny. They're funny as hell. But you took my moment away from me with it. It was us glowing. They all liked it. They all want more readings. There's a couple of Justice. You should hear him whisper. Maybe.
Get vaccinated. Allegedly.
Stop it.
In Minecraft.
His is funny as hell. Just a girl wanting clicks. His says no. What? Do we need to go back and finish the video? You foisted it upon us. I really hate how it does that. Divinity's like, you got this, you got this, you got this. It's not what it shows.
Yeah.
That's totally not what it shows. I can see it right next to my others. Seriously. Like, you got to be kidding me right now.
So I mean, he wants to know, if you like those type of things. So
Right.
if he wants to,
Do
if
I
he
do more
throws it up
readings?
again, would you be satisfied? Would you not like that? Just do
Nico,
other
Nico.
things?
Yes, there is a Discord server. Get either hold of myself or Jessica Reloaded. We'll get you in there. There's a couple others that also have some rights to get through some of that. Just saying. What the hell is this? Why did it say somebody just messaged me in Discord, but nobody did? I hate that
Because
shit.
Discord.
I'm satisfied. Best smooth voice of a cool frog.
No, it's Froge.
Cool frog.
It's like Doge, but it's Froge, right?
Twitter's
Like
gay.
Froge.
Yeah, Twitter's pretty gay. It's definitely gay. By a large amount. I see gay everywhere. On both sides.
What?
Twitter's autistic. I mean, when you think of Twitter, when I think of Twitter anyway, there's like, I gotta download this one as opposed to actually having to do this. But one thing that always comes to mind is this guy. He has to be a Twitter follower. He really must enjoy Twitter. This guy.
Hey! You get the dough. Hey!
This guy. Yeah, like I said, I gotta download that.
Ugh. That freaking video.
We're waiting for you in Discord. Oh.
Oh.
Didn't talk about New York
Well.
going after the Trump family. Well, we got Monday, Tuesday,
that.
Wednesday. I don't know who I don't have anybody selected for a Thursday show. If there's anybody that's interested, thinking that they might, have an interesting show for me, maybe, hit me up. And we can maybe do a throwdown. I really don't know. Otherwise, it would be, Thursday might just be another news night because, this is where we started. This is the stuff that we started doing at the very beginning was so many news articles, having fun at the end of it, and, screwing around, watching, ridiculous videos. Maybe we should go back in time. One of the first Thursdays, because we were trying to figure out what to do different. And we did TikTok Thursdays. Do you remember TikTok Thursdays?
It was Libs of TikTok Thursdays, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much what we did is we watched Libs of TikTok stuff.
Just watch random liberals scream into their cell phones and melt down.
Right, and watch randoms scream about how they wanted to, make their children their children, and and there's so many videos and so many different things that we watched from Libs of TikTok for a couple months. TikTok was even a big thing. So, as far as that goes.
Well, now TikTok is officially a Chinese spying operation and other different types of operations. So anyway, Data gathering operation. Biometrics.
See what a TikTok Thursday works with an audience, because then instead of holding and talking about the same stuff that we always talk about when it comes to the politics, the hatred for Joe Biden, there's so many different things that we hit on, but it seems like I'd run dry. Like I was like, okay, I'm just doing the same stuff over and over again. The articles aren't changing. There's something to just like to talk with you for about 8 minutes. Sure. Go over in the Discord. I'll be there in a little bit. We can speak with each other. And squirrel. I don't know where I was going next.
Yeah,
I got distracted. Either way, anybody that wants to join me on Thursday thinks that they might have a good show, hit me up. If it's already taken and you had an idea that I thought was still good, I still might bring you back within the following weeks. I'd like to change things up, and for a third person, I'd like to bring other people back that I've had here before, as well. So don't get distracted or disturbed if I don't bring you on immediately. But I tried doing a first come, first serve. So anybody that has an idea, let me know. As far as anything else goes, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
I did not.
Nothing?
Nope.
You're good?
Oh yeah. I'm great. I'm great.
Then everybody should make sure that they check out AmericaShirts.com.
And you could use the discount code Koolfrogg to save 15% on anything in the store. That is the discount code Koolfrogg at AmericaShirts.com. Go check it out.
Hit at that Rumbles and the Locals forum. There are links around here. I believe if you look in the description, those links are there. I believe they are the correct ones. The ones that I have in my ticker banner are not. That I do need to update. I don't know why I haven't. If you want to support me immediately, go to buymeacoffee.com/Koolfrogg. That's KOOLFROGG. Help me out immediately. If that doesn't work out for you, hit the PayPal link. PayPal link, you go directly to me. It will bring something exciting tomorrow. There'll be some news, something or other. We'll see it at the same hour, 10 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yes, that's midnight for you guys all out in that East Coast. Great stream, Koolfrogg and shirts. Great night and day. And thank you to Jessica. Jessica actually did join us for quite some time. I'm glad that she did. Thank you all for being here, enjoying the night. Say goodnight, everybody.
Later, peeps.
Later. We didn't do the egg trick tonight. Let's do the egg trick.
This is like April Fool's. Like, you're not actually going away.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.